And I am mute. All right. Give me a second. Greetings and salutations as we round the table. What will be the end of this great and epic fable? I'm your demon host, Marty, joined by the full Ontario crew. This is Enter the Dungeon, episode 50, and what I hope will be the last game of this campaign. I am making your mics hot like tamales, and you guys are now live along with me.
Oh, we didn't tell you, Marty, that we decided to do a side adventure where we're going to cure the Ahmed's character's lycanthropy. We're going to find a way off-world, and we're going to level up 5 more levels before we hit Zuggtmoy and Ayus. Did you not in that email chain? I'm so sorry.
Yeah, no. If your character goes off on side quest, that's one less character to face off with Ayus and Zuggtmoy.
So from my end, this is the first time I've played a character of this level, which is kind of cool.
Interesting.
And we were just talking about this. We were leveling so fast.
We don't know what our characters do.
I lost track of the abilities that I had because we leveled a bunch of times, like so fast that the scenarios that come up where you need them, the scenarios that come up where you need that power, you're thinking about, hasn't happened in a few levels. So it's like last time when Crusher could have gotten out of every grapple at the end of his round.
Surprising it is with all these newfangled powers. Let's hope that they become useful in this grand final hours. As Marty's just going to do the entire game in Shakespearean mode.
And then we all die.
I'm trying to remember what's the cross-dressing movie that's done in the same fashion. Rocky Horror Picture Show. In my head, I was thinking Rocky Horror. Like I was thinking the Rocky Horror Picture Show was the narrator from that.
The difference between a movie and this is not fucking scripted. There is no script.
No, there's no script. There's none. No scripts.
So watch yourself, or you'll end up in a crypt. See, I could keep this going, man. I think there's a mode of DMing where Marty goes, this encounter is Shakespearean mode. There's no numbers. Right. And shakes his dagger. And
you suddenly have the urge to talk to yourself for the next 5 minutes.
I was thinking about that mode today as I was getting ready, kind of waking up, getting stuff to eat.
Soliloquy mode. Soliloquy activate. No, it's been a good couple of days. Did some stuff. I went and did that run that the dog screwed me over on. We got it in. It's official. All those numbers are down. And did it.
I'm just seeing the dogs at the finish line, just all kind of like you have to hurdle over them. They're jumping at you. Mindful of dog shit, like they're just trying to stop.
So it was fun because what we did is we took the wife out and we went on a run and it was all fun. And then she got really, really tired really, really fast. So we did that and then we walked and we ran a little bit. And I'm like, here, you take the dogs. I'm just going to go. And set a time. So I'm happy I hit the time. I hit a goal. I accomplished a goal. I can put something in the books. Time for a new goal. Then keep going.
Mark, what's new with you, man? How's work?
Work is better. I'm actually taking my the way our schedule works. We get one couple weeks where it's like work, and but the flip side of that is you get once a month you get 7 straight days off, and I've decided to actually take my 7 straight days off and not work overtime because we got one of the guys came out of quarantine, and so all the shifts are covered. I'm going to be gone for a while.
So on the last game, you're taking 7 days off.
That means Mark can join us in Greystone or Grimstone. Mark can DM an adventure in Grimstone.
Yeah.
It's only 2 episodes to listen to catch up, Mark, or 3. Yeah, it's
pretty easy.
Yeah.
And one of them was a clusterfuck. It was just...
I actually listened to some of it. It wasn't too bad. It wasn't too
I ended
bad.
up skipping like the first part 1 of session 1. It was like it's not working. So I'm like, okay, go forward 15 minutes. No, my mic's not working. Go forward.
That sounds like session 2.
Maybe it was that one. I don't know.
It was likely session 2 because session 2 was everything that could have went wrong went wrong. Just everything.
Yep.
Oh yeah, your internet was garbage. That's right.
I played via my cell phone. This is how I ended up DMing.
Yeah, I remember. There's one point I'm walking the dog and I had to laugh because I hear Marty go, and based on the look on Adam's face, his internet shit the bed.
Ahmed, how's it going in your household?
It's pretty good. Nothing new. Still doing homework with the kids. Still doing lots of work.
Who's teaching who?
I'm trying to teach. They're not learning.
Just too much.
So I heard nobody's teaching anybody. That's what I heard.
I hear the battle of wills continue.
There's a lot of this. There's a lot of this. What's 3 + 4? 12.
3 times 4. I mean,
It's only been a month. Come on. No, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. We're actually, it's good because people are getting a chance to spend time at home because I think there's too much requirement for people to be at work. So it's a chance for people to just take a chance to be at home, which I think is good. I did just a quick thing. I did in our chat post the bonuses you're getting from Ali. That's going to everyone. You guys who've requested mutagens have them. You know what they are.
Cool. So why don't we dive in? It's just another day for Marty, so it's fine. Why don't we dive into recap what happened last game? If OneNote is going to, oh no, it crashed. I will try that again. And it crashed again.
Where are we going?
Can you pay? Yeah. Every time I switch between OneNote files, because I'm looking at my story notes.
What would you like me to bring up?
I just want you to paste the recap from episode 49, which is under meta logs or something like that. Hey,
I'm getting there. Loading. 40. Oh, it's a girthy one.
You might need a couple of copy pastas.
All right, copy, and then
eventually OneNote will go, hey, you crashed a bunch of times. Do you want to start from scratch? Yes.
Would you like to do a paperclip?
There is a. I will get the rest of it in a second here. Kreiger receives.
Okay, I got it. Episode 49, The Hag and Hammer. The party mounts a rescue of Isolde and her 2 newborns. An unexpected entity is present at the scene, Baba Yaga. Kreiger bravely faces Baba Yaga with Eldar Hamar. Bonecrusher squares off with the aspect of Zuggtmoy. Alkur destroys the petitioner witnesses, including the spirits of Lord Byrne and the wizard Lazarus. Oscar leaves the Orb of Golden Death behind. Ptolemy seizes and sits upon the throne of Runerach. Kreiger receives his final gift from Odist Odin. Oscar finds a lucky dagger that he stole from a dwarven god long ago. Ali starts making the legendary Ounce of Purity. Malini stalks off in the middle of the night. The party rests before their final confrontation and showdown with Ayuz and the real Zuggtmoy.
Malini stalked off in the middle of the night.
Yep.
She was under house arrest. Crap. Okay. We'll add that to the to-do list.
Malini had things to do.
Turned into a bug and flew away. I'm a butterfly.
She's got one of those little kid costumes, just a couple of wings, some sparkles.
You can't see me.
So you guys rest one more time. Are there any conversations that are had before you guys go to bed? Mistress Isolde is tending to her children. Darian.
Are we on the right map in OneNote or in?
I'm on workshop outside of time.
That's where I'm putting my bonuses. So if you want, you can grab them from there. Put your hero points.
Workshop outside time. Perfect. Okay.
There is a conversation Shadow wants to have a question.
Alright. Alkur is assisting Ali.
Okay.
Watching intently on the procedure going on.
Yeah, Ali is very, very organized and really good at his craft. You have to watch closely to understand what it is that he's doing. A few times you were almost like, no, don't do that, but it was like he's doing 3 professional steps to make sure that the error rate is low on the step that he's actually supposed to do, and you're like, oh, okay, I'm going to shut up now, and you've got your hands neatly folded behind your back as you're watching, almost afraid to breathe upon the substances that Ali is trying not to pollute, as he's trying to create the purest of substances that will cascade through matter and energy into making the target substance of its purest form. Give me a knowledge arcana. I think you have unified theory as you're watching Ali create this magnificent and near godly liquid.
All right. So 20, 35, 35, 36, 38, and 40. Paying attention. Hey, 46.
Okay. You're going to have to be very careful with this stuff, because even if you opened up the bottle and left it open, you might purify the air in a room or in the village or on the country or world where you are. Like, it affects, and you're also uncertain as to how it may affect, like, someone's blood. Like, what is pure? Would it be the most,
Is it like, are we talking makes things go to base materials, or are we talking gets rid of, like, or?
Yeah, you suspect that because of the healing additive of not only a unicorn's horn, which traditionally was used to cure, but also the regenerative properties of the heart of a phoenix, you're pretty sure that this is not necessarily malign. Like, you don't think it'll kill a person, but you think that if you included it, if you gave it to a person, it would definitely change them. You have some people in the party who have obvious malignancies of their blood that this would definitely get rid of.
The brothers.
If you gave it to Bone Crusher, he would no longer be a werebear.
If we gave it to Shadow, would he no longer be an orc?
He may not be a werewolf anymore, and then you're like, they're half orcish. What's more, like, and now you're thinking,
you might
like,
turn them into like an orc or
a human
Or a human.
or something different.
I think Shadow gets turned into a dog. Let's be honest.
Schnauzer.
While this is interesting, it may not be the most optimal time to experiment, and the substance is way too precious for that.
No. Later. Once we figure out how to mass produce this stuff.
The part that you don't understand is Ali's book, which seems like he wrote in it like a spell book, and some of the writing looks like it's not his. It's like a really big flowing script, and then there's somebody who wrote little tiny things inside of the letters. It's almost like 2 sets of scripts that are on top of each other. Ali is, while he's crafting this thing, seems to have... It's like a really slow burn scroll. Like, he's taking what he's been working on and burning it up as he's making and doing the steps of this mastercraft.
So he might not be able to reproduce this?
He will not be able to reproduce this without redoing that intensive labor to research it.
Alkarn is not concerned with Ali's sacrifice.
Okay. You do notice how you do see while Ali is very energetic and focused on his task, you do see that Ali is pouring himself spiritually and perhaps his life force is feeding into this process as well. He is literally putting himself into the work.
The thought that that crosses Alkarn's mind is that beards are undignified.
Just because you can't grow one.
You know that some of the things there look like shortcuts. Ali may have been able to do this given more time, but time is out. And effectively what I'm describing is that Ali's not 20th level. He shouldn't be able to do a capstone power yet, but he's doing it. He's sacrificing his good heart to do this. How much of a sacrifice you don't know, and I don't know if Alkarn cares.
He's just trying to figure out how to reproduce this later.
Okay.
That's he's trying to figure out what he needs to do to reproduce it and what you need to find.
There's a tug from Alkarn's on Alkarn's robe, and you can see Merriwind, your daughter.
Now is not, and then it just switches.
Yep. I wanted to say thank you.
For what?
And I'm sorry, and she kind of buries into you with a big hug. It's just all so weird and so fast.
I need to apologize for the actions that have been taken. There is undue hardship placed upon you.
I think I'll be all right.
You will be all right. There is a strong likelihood that I will not see you again.
Okay. There are tears and hugs and goodbyes.
You will be stronger. You will not make the same mistakes.
She wipes her tears and says, I think I know. I will always be your daughter. All three of you.
We'll switch to Alkur the White. Alkarn keeps himself in timeout. You will be all right. We're going to give her the Explorer's Yurt.
Okay.
It was like the most complicated thing Alkur made in this game.
Okay, she takes it and she nods, and you notice her as she's packing up her things. There's a curious little idol that she has. Like, she has some of Taharon's equipment.
Yep, his bow, his quiver.
Yep. You also notice something that she might have taken from the workshop outside of time. It's a little figurine of like a really happy looking dog.
We like happy dogs.
If you take a closer look, it says the best dog ever.
Woo!
And she's just packing it up with some of her stuff.
Alkarn is not going to give the kid Taharon's soul. He's going to keep that.
Good.
Because he's going to fix it.
Do you want to make a little section on the bottom of your sheet, the stuff that Merowyn Sprite has,
Okay.
her gifts from the workshop outside of time?
Merowyn Sprite's gifts. Explorer's yurt, Taharon's bow, Taharon's quiver, and a idol of the best dog ever. Spelled with an A.
Okay. Meanwhile, in the side chamber, where this is at the chamber where the 3 elven hags had spent a lot of their time when they were still with you, the 2 babies have finally stopped crying and they're sleeping soundly, giving Mistress Isolde a chance to talk to Darian.
Oh shit! I won't miss that. I'm kidding.
I've got a question. I know your mind is addled, but did she give you one of these? And she pulls out this small, like, ring box, almost. It's carved. It looks like it's made out of bone and obsidian. It looks really old.
But I've never seen it before.
No, you've got one. The succubus lady in the Casino de Soli gave you that exact same box.
Yeah, I got something like that in my pack. I was told to open it when things became tired.
I've had a bit more time to look at mine. I think I know what it does.
Oh?
It plane shifts.
Okay.
I've even caught a glimpse of where it plane shifts. It's a quiet-looking place. A sphere within a sphere. It looks safe. There's a house.
Well, that sounds good.
I'm going to take the 2 of them there. I never thought I would be accepting the gift from a former demon lord, but
Strange times.
we did work so hard to redeem her.
We did.
She looks at you and kind of gives you like a shoulder.
Oh, now it's coming back. Sure. Okay.
You're going to stay here to fight him, aren't you? Ayuz and her, Zuggtmoy.
You know I have to.
Don't take too long.
I won't.
And don't sacrifice yourself. Remember, there are many battles in a war.
This one's kind of a big one.
Okay.
He hands her 3 envelopes.
She gives you a look like, what are these?
These are for you and the children. In case I don't come back.
She looks at the sword. I would love to give this to Kreiger, but there is so much of the twisting that I fear is still inside me and not in the blade.
I wouldn't worry about Kreiger. Something tells me that spear he came out of Otis's room with has got enough oomph for this fight.
It's a curious name for him.
Yeah, weird fella.
She smiles like she knows more than you do on the matter. I've sacrificed so much. We both have.
Whatever peace we can get after this, we've earned.
And all we ended up doing was delivering the twisting to Zuggtmoy.
We're gonna get it back.
She needs to be destroyed. Then maybe it will just dissipate. Future battles, she says. And she looks down at the children.
Those battles will be a long time away.
Okay, there's a touching moment as you guys are hugging while your shadow plays across the burbling forms of the newborn babes in their double cradle.
All right. Yeah, he kisses his family goodbye and kind of tries to hide his tears, and so it's time for you to go. You need to go now.
Yep. You go fiddle with his armor or something
Yeah,
like
I
that.
gotta go put my armor on.
Shadow, you said you wanted to have a talk with Bone Crusher? Bone Crusher's sitting there and just sort of like meditating, as he often does in the evenings or early morning. Max is just sitting there, kind of resting by a warm vent in the workshop outside of time.
You know I almost killed you, don't you? When she almost turned you and she almost killed you, I almost dropped you.
Crusher raises an eyebrow.
This spear, it can protect your soul. It won't let her have you. Do you understand?
Yes. Need you to understand something, Shadow. Out of all the people here, I'm the least important. Do you know why?
Shut up, here.
Listen to me. I'm just brute force, with bottled rage. Nothing good will come of it. You do what you have to protect the others, from me if it comes to it. And if it comes down to it, protect my soul if you can. I'd appreciate it. You know I love you, Shadow.
Shadow punches him in the gut.
I knew you loved me too.
I hate you. Shadow walks away. Fine. Stupid. Pressure.
Cutscene.
Oscar? You're not feeling so good. It's like a couple of times you've caught yourself kind of rooting through your backpack looking for the golden skull before you realize, oh yeah, I left it behind. The imp in your mind just sort of fretting or kind of like doing this like little tisk 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 kind of thing.
Now is not the fucking time. It's, just, it's like the first thing anybody's heard Oscar say in like the last 6 hours.
Yes, it's not the time. Get your shit together, Oscar.
Time for some honest opinions.
Is this out loud or in your head?
Half of the sentences are out loud, half of the sentences are in his head. Whichever ones feel better out loud, you can interpret as being audible. Have I been fucking up?
Who are you talking
Talking
about?
to you, devil boy. That part was out loud.
What do you mean, fucking up? You should have never played with it. I've never seen you like this before, but this is the furthest you've ever gotten. We need to make sure that you survive. That thing made you reckless.
What thing? This? And you kind of like reach down to where you kept it, and you're like, oh, the bag's gone, and you have this like feeling of like, oh, like loss that it's gone.
I'm supposed to stab the boy. I don't want to stab the boy. The god wants me to stab the boy. That girl ain't around no more to explain why I'm supposed to stab the fucking boy. So do I stab the fucking boy?
I don't know. I've never stabbed the boy. We've never gotten this far. I am numb with repetition. My memories of over and over are just as dumb as yours. This is all new. But you shouldn't have played with the orb.
Well, it's safe and sound in a pool of acid. Nobody's gonna find it there. It'll be nice and clean when we get back.
Yep. And when you said safe and sound, your hand went down to the pouch where you thought for a moment, safe and sound. It's almost like the thought originally was, it's safe and sound here in my
It's here in my puddle of acid that's outside
the imp's eyes narrow, like it's maybe jealous or like not convinced of your behavior at this point. Oscar has a feeling he's gotten drunk before. He's got a feeling that, or he's been poisoned before. Like this is right before the poison or the drink wears off, and where like headaches and like chills start to happen, and Oscar's got a bad feeling that he's in for it without the golden orb.
He doesn't complain to anybody except for the demon. The devil in his head gets to play that bitch step, but everybody else doesn't.
The glitter fiend, the fiend that has plagued Oscar's family for so long that their clan has been named after the fiend itself.
Yeah. It's your fault, you know.
Ever since one of Oscar's ancestors walked into a tower of the imp and beseeched the tower to have their own imp, how were they supposed to know that they would get a greater imp?
You're supposed to keep me protected from this sort of shit. Yeah, you feel shame. That part's out loud.
Kreiger, you were just sort of like admiring the spear, and like if you concentrate on it, you could hear like distant battles of the past, and like flashes of warriors using the spear and like felling foes and like different. And then you kind of notice Oscar talking to himself.
You okay there, short stuff?
Yeah. I'm fine.
You talked to yourself a lot lately?
From time to time. It's only way I can ensure myself of an intelligent conversation.
I get it. It's alright to be scared. I'm a little scared too. But everything's gonna be okay.
Are you fucking serious right now?
It's what I tell myself.
I've done this 1,000 times.
Yeah, but
And
you have.
fucked it up 1,000 times too.
Don't worry. This time I'm here to make sure everything goes right. Hey, who's scared off? Baby Yoga. This guy.
Yeah, next time you might want to keep a hand on your artifact.
Oh, you mean my weapon. Okay. I got another legendary artifact, but it's a boast for another day.
Do you now?
I do. Ask your mom.
I'm fairly certain I stabbed the last man who slept with my mom. You say you slept with my mom?
I wasn't the last one, so don't worry.
I sure that was my dad.
The rest of the Glitterfiend clan are all bones and dust.
Hey, what do you call squashed or busted up mushrooms? Try to come up with like a battle cry or something. Like, you're gonna be, but I don't know. What do you do with mushrooms?
You cook them, or you eat them for other means, other purposes.
Oh yeah, Shadow used to give me some of those. Those are fun. That's not gonna work though. I gotta come up with something else. Crap. Not good at this stuff.
Champagnes.
All right, that's Champagnes. I'm the champion of Champagnes. Is that is that gonna work?
Ain't nobody watching.
All right, yeah, you're right.
Say whatever the fuck you want. Title: The Champion of Champagnes. I remember my symbiote.
Thank you, Mark.
No problem.
Can't be that much harder than last time, right? Yesterday wasn't so bad. I mean, yeah, I lost 2 weapons that really could have set me up for life if I sold them, but aside from that...
Yeah. So, what are you planning on doing?
What do you mean? No, I'm gonna smash or stab her. I'm gonna go with the stabbing motion from now on, I guess.
Post smashing and stabbing.
Oh,
Assuming that use doesn't just whisk you away to another plane or tear your torso bit from bit.
you know, you need to work on your motivational speeches. But,
I have a
when...
headache. I'm grumpy.
when I arise victorious after this particular battle, I should probably let my mom know I'm okay. She didn't actually want me to leave. She's very protective. She's gonna be so mad, too.
Yeah. Alright. Your mom.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back to Sparrow. I picked something up from Otis. I know how to make horseshoes now, so maybe I'll get myself a forge and make horseshoes.
You know how to make horseshoes.
Yep.
That's what you learned from Otis.
Well, a few other things too. I cheated arm wrestling. That's what he did. Why? What are you gonna do?
I don't know.
You're not going to go back to being Mayor Nob?
Sure. I go back to being Mayor Nob.
They'll be lucky to have
you. You can roll a perception check if you want. He ain't going back.
I'm not gonna go past it. Oh, sure you are, of course.
Yeah. Nah. All right. Sort of like awkwardly, sort of like turns around and like looks the other direction.
See, Kreiger gives you like a friendly slap on the back. It's gonna be good. Don't worry about it. We got this.
Yeah. Of course we do. What other choice we got?
Yeah, it's this or all creation gets undone, right? And after that happens, who's gonna notice?
The party settles in for the evening. Ali is working around the clock to provide not only potions and extracts and mutagens for the party the next day with their final confrontation, but checking in on this ever so precarious and very precise procedure to produce the ounce of purity. Ali, you are feeling very tired, but this is the culmination of your life's work. You feel as if a warm glow is with you, Ali. Like there is a particular light and brightness and inspiration, as if a halo itself was slowly creeping upon your brow, hovering above you, illuminating the work that would affect so many billions to come. By morning break, and when everyone has finished their daily preps, the final step and the last couple of drops of the ounce of purity make their way into the vessel. You have crafted enough smaller vials to store a dose of the ounce of purity each. Now, you've created an ounce of the substance. It's how potent is that ounce that will determine how many doses you can dole up safely into these individual potion bottles. Basically little crystal bottles that will keep the ounce of purity safe.
Right.
You guys had surmised that it would take, or this is Alkur and Ali in the conversation, that it would take at least 3 to cure Runerach, 2 to cure a holy or unholy place, like the Temple of Elemental Evil, and 1 drop to cure a object or a person of its corruption or to purify it.
Can I call Alkur to aid me in the crafting?
Yeah, they were aiding.
Alkur has left your side for a total of 3 minutes to talk to Merrywind. And that's it.
Can Alkarn do his eye roll for you, and if you don't like it, you roll for me? Something like that.
As best he can. It's a focus spell that he has.
What are your total? I want to just do some math. Give me a second.
So Ali's craft alchemy with his potions.
Yep.
Is no, wrong sheet. It's not a 20. Let's see. Crafting. I mean, the 42.
With Alkur helping, it could be 44.
Anybody else that wishes to help?
So,
yeah, with Alkur, it'd be a 44.
Kreiger is an expert in craft.
No.
So, yeah, Alkarn's aid is plus 38 is what he rolls, and he can't critical fail.
Okay.
If you have a potion of mine, it would be a plus 42.
Okay.
Okay, and then you guys had you had a really powerful magical item that helped with crafting. Did that only affect the times, or is there an item bonus on?
I believe it also does an item bonus, but it shouldn't be better than his other item bonuses. But I'm not certain of that. Here, it's the funny-looking backpack of do things real quick. Like it's like maniacal devices. Here we go. It's this one. The inexplicable apparatus. It is a +3 item bonus. What is your item bonus?
I have a plus 3 item bonus?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, no, it goes up by 1 then. So 39 becomes 43. 39. There. 39. Plus my potion becomes a 43.
Okay.
Yeah. So, like, I think Alkur and Ali are within like one of each other's sort of roles on this. Just he can do it, I can't because it's his class power. And I'm a higher level character level than he is.
All right. Are there any other bonuses from anyone else?
Nobody can.
Give me a second. I'll check to see what the bard song.
Can you help? Can you help?
Iggy.
Iggy can aid using music to do anything he wants. So I think he auto gets the...
Just some soothing music, goblin music, while you work.
he's just gonna bong his pot.
He's standing behind Ellie. You can do it, master.
No, he's gonna actually bang his pot with a very regular rhythm to keep time.
Okay.
That's how it will take the form.
Madrazar is just going to keep Iggy's bane of the bane of Iggy's existence, Steek, out of Iggy's way. that's how he helps.
Inspire competence. You can use an aid action, use a performance roll instead of a normal skill check, and if you always get at least a success.
Okay.
A success is a critical success, and a failure is a success.
All right. Well, probably the most important role of the campaign.
I could. Am I getting the thing from Adam? Like, here's a roll before you roll, or can he use that?
I have that spell if it's allowed to be used. And then give me a second. I think there's a what's it called? Inspire Heroics? No.
We should give the purest thing to Ayuz and what's her name? Make them forces of good.
Zuggtmoy?
Zuggtmoy.
For now, I'm calling Iggy the Scene Servant. That's cool. All right, so Iggy. Iggy's performance check. He rolls a 10. He adds. Give me a second. Iggy's character sheet I have open currently. Iggy.
Okay, the DC to 8 is 30.
Okay, so Iggy's Iggy critically aids.
Okay, so you've got a +2 from Iggy.
Okay, Alkur critically aids without rolling, and he can't fail. Like he doesn't get a 1. Like 1 doesn't matter.
Okay, so that's a +2 from Alkur.
And then Alkur is going to use his diviner power, diviner's insight, I believe it's called, or diviner's sight spell, diviner sight, to give our boy here a d20 that he could choose to use at any point during his turn.
Roll that d20.
17.
We're using that.
You're not going to roll?
If he rolls, then he can't use the 17.
I'm not using that. I'm using this.
All right, you're going to use a 17. I'm just keeping track of some math here. The DC of this is 40. And for every 5 by which you succeed the check, you create 1 additional dose.
We need to make 80. We're trying to hit DC 80.
We're not going to. Wait.
Now, Ali doesn't get a hero point.
Ellie has? Doesn't Ellie
No.
have a hero point?
No.
No, he's not heroic enough.
I would let Ali take one of Shadow or Bone Crusher's hero points.
Well, he's not that important. Neither is campaign. Okay, now, because here's the thing: I'm not gonna re-roll a 17, even if I do have a hero point. I'm not gonna re-roll that.
No, but you can add it to your roll. So you could say
Could I?
you just take it and say I get a +4. Like,
Could I?
Yeah, you haven't rolled yet.
Yep.
I'll do that.
Okay. Whose
hero point are you
hero
taking?
point are you taking?
Yes, each of them will have one.
Okay. Okay. So you take a 17, you get a +4 from hero, and what is the total bonus that Ali has in his craft alchemy?
43, and then there's a +4 from these guys.
Yes. So
He's already got all that.
my math is 43 plus the roll of 17 is 60, and then the hero and Alkur and Iggy is 68.
Yep.
Minus 40 is 28. So you've
Yeah,
created
that's
one.
7 doses.
You've got 1 ounce with the DC 40, and another 5 from beating the DC by 28, which is 20 for every 5.
It wasn't by 4. It was by
Yeah,
5.
by every 5. Yeah. So you've
So
got
we've
you've got 6.
the-
You've got 6 doses.
So we can do the command console, the plane, and after we've done all that, we have 1 dose left over for potentially somebody to not. One person might be able to be cured.
I think we should probably give it to Ptolemy so he's not a horrible tyrant and an awful abomination that creates a new race of awful creatures.
So Ali's like trying to squeeze out that last one, and with the inspiration from the fellows, he gives the alembic a little bit of a shake, and the last little drop of potency, and there are 6 perfect vials stoppered of the divvied ounce of purity. Ali kind of just collapses in his chair. It feels like his life force is diminished somewhat, and he just looks like he's aged 20 years in this short period of time.
Alkarn helps clean up.
Okay.
And Kreiger goes, "That's it."
In cleaning up, he's taking the leftover bits of spent ingredients.
Yeah. So the thing that was used to stir was stirred like the alicorn was stirred down to like a burnt nub, like the part that actually attaches to the head of the unicorn. So you've got a burnt nub of a spent unicorn alicorn horn. You have a vial that once held angel tears.
Okay.
And then you have, what was the last thing? The
Phoenix.
the heart of the phoenix. There are, how shall we say, just sort of like bloody crisps of the heart of a phoenix. It's like the thing cooked, and you kind of took the crusty shell from the outside.
Yeah.
As if it was like half-lifing over time and leaving behind this kind of like this really kind of crisp, like the energy inside. So you have this really flaky crisp from the Phoenix Heart.
Wither King is I think brilliant in so many ways.
Wither, I've got other plans, but that is one way to do it. That is a method.
All right, you guys have re-prepared your spells.
I'm ready.
Alkur the Black starts a unicorn factory farm, just cutting off horns.
Bring him back.
That is so dystopian. I wonder if there's one in like hell. it's like the unicorn butchery.
I feel like there's one on Volcanica.
Yeah, there's probably one there.
It might be black market, but I feel like it's there.
They found a planet called Unicornia.
They go to the pony planet, the Brody planet, or whatever it's called.
Yeah,
My Little
yeah,
Pony planet.
A bunch of brownies that way.
No.
Go to that dwarf factory. Trust me.
No. That was tense. That was a tense roll, and it turned out
Yep.
pretty damn good. But at the same time, decisions still need to be made. Okay, first is who's taking the 6 vials.
You need to
I'll-
distribute them.
Alkur.
Alkur, I think, is probably
How-
least likely to get.
How do we distribute these things?
They need to be used.
Michel.
Alkarn is going to. Alkarn, now that he has bits of ingredients, fades into the mist, and Alkur appears. to speak in a way that is less likely to get him punched in the face.
Oh, there, Ali. You've been working really hard there. You managed to just
Yes,
get...
the master needs air. The master needs air. He's waving a fan.
Work.
There, you must eat. You must sleep.
Do not take too long in distributing the. Sorry. Do not take too long in distributing the. You have to do it soon. If you take too long, it starts losing potency.
Just get up there. You, master is very tired. Everybody go. Yeah, now you have the thing. Go and purify. Go clean.
Okay, Mudrazar picks up Ali like he's like an invalid and goes and puts him into a little bed off to the side. There.
The table has the elixirs for them. Take them before you go.
Otis won't mind that you're resting in his little bed.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
Nothing bad ever happens in Otis's bed.
Except when you disappear.
Don't worry, I put lucky bugs under pillow.
There's a fight over the pillow as a couple of like little potato bugs go scampering away.
Alkur is going to basically police up the vials of purity.
Okay.
They need to be used particularly, and we have hard decisions ahead of us. We should prepare. Hopefully we are ahead of Ayuz and can defeat her before he arrives.
Max gives Shadow a big lick.
Yeah, things are gonna get a little dicey in there, buddy. I want you to stay in here and stay with them.
He cocks his head off to the side.
Shadow was looking at the counting elixirs, and there's only 7 of each useful kind. Not enough to go around.
Okay, Max grabs your wrist in his mouth and is pulling you towards the door.
What is it? You wanna come too, huh?
He ends up biting you. He draws blood a little bit. You take 1 damage.
Initiative. No.
What is it?
And he just stops pulling at you.
Like towards the exit? Like towards the...
I was towards the landing. There is the exit here, but it's also the big ass city.
Okay, he goes towards there.
Okay. Max he's just breathing heavy. You can see a little bit of your blood still on his canines.
Shadow goes out to look around.
What's the problem? What is it? Why'd you bite me?
The dog sits up on end and is sort of looking out into the city, the weird city that's kind of traveling by.
Okay. Perception. What's he looking at?
He's looking up. His ears kind of pricking a little bit like he's listening at something. Give me a perception check.
Okay.
What's the call?
I was about to kill my own dog. Oh, just a side question, Marty. Did the lycanthropes get another boost in hit points?
Good question. I'll check.
Kind of important. Perception check.
Hit points overrated. Nope, the last boost happened at 15th. There's no 20th level capstone.
Okay, cool.
I don't think you're supposed to, like, you're special. That's how you got to 20th with the lycanthrope.
42?
Oh, you hear it. It is far and distant and loud as it's the great call. Simultaneously, all wolves and wolf-like beings in the multiverse are tilting their heads back and howling.
I rule myself. I rule the wolf. The wolf does not rule me.
Max has now tilted his head back and, in a way that a 400-pound wolf can, starts to howl and call back.
Shadow holds his howl.
Okay. You can feel this.
He will not be.
You could feel this tug, and you know out there somewhere, all wolves are gathering.
Maybe later. maybe later, not right now, but maybe later.
Yeah, you're like, I want to know what that is. Oh, that's got to be a lot of fun.
Oh, that's fucking loud.
Yeah. Max ends up just sort of just sort of like listening and watching, and then eventually just hops down. And this is early in the morning. All right, you guys have done your daily preps. The doses.
One of the questions from stream was, what did people get for 20ths?
Let's call it out as we're playing. I want to keep this going. Yeah.
Cool. All right.
Or we could do it afterwards or something.
Yeah, that's cool.
I don't have to pee. Momentum is gathering. Let's go. Otherwise, it'll be like 3 games of the end of the game campaign. We need to pedal the metal.
Okay.
You guys have finished your daily preps. You have got your 19th and 20th level powers. There have been some goodbyes. Ali is basically almost before your eyes faded.
He there's a smile on his face. He was able to craft something that no one else has ever crafted ever.
Kreiger's just thinking you did something in the elixir to make yourself smile. So dirty old man.
Iggy's just trying to help out the master, trying to keep him calm, keep him warm. He does see where the book is because he might be able to put the book first.
Ali calls out. Ali is making small prayers, and in his prayers is the name of a Saint Thas.
Okay. There is if anyone is holy or can detect good, there is a slight aura, kind of like above Mark's head right now, above Ali.
The holy lippled.
Yeah, I'll flip the light on and off as I'm playing Darian and Kreiger.
Is the party going?
Yeah, party goes.
One more thing. For healing elixirs, did we dole those out or?
Yeah, you've got those. You've got they're doing 89 or 87 healing now.
Oh, 87? Okay.
Yeah, you've
significant?
So the bruisers have 5, everybody else has 3. That's
Right.
Darian, Crusher, and Kreiger. They each have 5.
Cool. Thanks.
Okay, the party is assembling and leaving. Are you taking Max or leaving? You said you're leaving him behind to guard.
Yeah.
Kreiger is going, obviously. Alkur and his forms are obviously going. Bone Crusher, Darian, Oscar. You drink some potions and cast some spells to prepare, and you head out into the Fetid Heart of Runerach. The scene doesn't end here.
Ooh.
While the heroes go off to face not 1 but 2 demon lords in the center of this new abyss, think it's time that we explain what happened to some of the bit parts in this story. Some of the non-PCs. Max gives in to the call. He hops up onto the edge, the ledge, and jumps down into the city outside of time.
Cool.
And he runs towards the sound of the gathering of the Great Pack. And on some distant battlefield will join the pack as it stands against the enemies of creation. Where the strongest wolf that ever did tread is at the head of the pack.
I still don't know if that's Uker or if that's Uker's son.
It's Shadow, bitch.
Mistress Isolde goes and checks on Ali and kind of wipes his brow. She looks at him for a moment, and she leans down and says, "You and I from the same world.
Yes.
You have done well and given this new age hope."
It is all I wanted.
"You may rest," she says. "But know your spirit will go to him.
Tear comes down.
And while he has slept 1,000 years, or however long it's been, your soul will return to him. And he will awaken again."
Beaming smile. Weak beaming smile. That fades.
"Oh no, don't die," said Mudrazar.
No, he's just needs napping. He's fine. He's not dead. I'm not in luck. We're okay.
There is a golden light that passes over Ali, who dies upon the bed of Otis Odin in the workshop outside of time, and almost in some grand twist of fate, just like the evil spirit of the head of the Temple of Elemental Evil, Hedrak, had been delivered to Iuz and had caused this crazy cycle. As the cycle was being undone and turned undone, the spirit of Ali al-Hakim would travel out of the workshop outside of time into the city outside of time and to the strange resting place of a saint who is guarded by the unhappy spirit of a paladin. And after a long period of time, almost as if this saint's name was forgotten, this final spirit, a pure spirit, a spirit that sacrificed himself for the greater good of the age of man to come, awakened him. And from his stony prison, Saint Thas, the blind, awakened and gave purpose to the paladin Darthanon.
Waggle my
Fucking metal!
actual name around a little bit.
The two goblins were fighting over Ali, like how to treat Ali, and like no, he's not dead, he's dead. It was your fault. It was the bug. When the giant book of Obeisance and Servitude opens and sucks in not one but two goblins because they were grappling. as Iggy Slagbottom and Steak Critterfiend are now stuck inside the Book of Obeisance and Servitude.
Oh, you gotta be shitting me.
Now the book is balanced, as it has an agent of chaos and an agent of law within. You've got a kind heart for an ogre, Madrazar. All my friends are gone. You have a choice. You could come with me to help me raise these two. You could stay here, or you could go out into the city. It's at this point when she mentions the city that there is the distant sound in the city itself. Perhaps the city is not the right place for you to go, she says.
Maybe I comes with you then.
She nods.
Upsy daisy.
And he picks up Darian's two children in their in their thing.
Get the monster away from us!
The ogre holds their little hands, and Isolde basically holds Mudrazar's hand and touches the newborns, and with one thumb she flips open the box that was bestowed to her by Nocticula. The demon lord that was redeemed. And the whole lot of them, when hope seemed to fade, disappeared to new beginnings. With the klaxon still raging behind the scene, the only thing that stirred in the workshop outside of time, for a moment, was Merriwind, who seemed really concerned as she finishes packing up her gear. There's somebody entering.
Mountain stance?
We're not in there.
Hello? Is the singularity here? The what? I'm here to get you. Come on. Merriwind smiles. You're the one that left the dog, aren't you? And she picks up her little rucksack, her little adventurer's kit, and runs into the light. Now the only thing that stirs, ever so slightly, is Squish. An age could have gone by, but finally Squish just flew over to a shelf where there were pieces of a tiny clockwork owl kind of arranged along the shelf, incomplete or unrepaired. And Squish just settles in for a long sleep. And finally his googly eyes just sort of settle in. dust. Layers and layers of dust. The flickering change of the portrait that shows the great heroes and folks of the age. Now let's figure out whether or not the heroes who left to fight Ayuz and Zuggtmoy would appear in the frame of that painting.
For the paintings when we won or died? Is a soul trapping painting?
I'm saving this campaign, and I'm going to go to the new Abyss campaign.
Abyss.
Just tie up.
Fetid Heart.
Yep. Just tie up some loose ends.
That big fungal bastard seemed to have moved really quickly. It's only been a couple of hours. I mean, some of the bitch got some legs on him. It's the only thing left alive along the way.
I need to go to the initiative sheet.
Initiative. See. Sorry, I don't know. Good stuff. Oh, saying those names brought back lots of memories.
Oh, there's all sorts of memories.
All sorts of memories.
Well, I'm populating the initiative. You want to tell them who Saint Thos and Darthanon is?
The unfortunate souls who got trapped in the mirror in the blue alley.
So you need more context than that. That's not a story.
I know. That's just a bold comment right in the middle.
So Darthanon was a paladin of Kelemvor, who at one point in his career was carrying a demon that tore away his sense of joy. So he was a joyless paladin of death.
This is your first D&D character.
It was my first Marty D&D character. I had a stupid druid in the Midnight campaign that didn't go super smoothly, and Karasu was before him technically, but it was my first full campaign character, played for 2 years or 3 years type character. He developed and grew into a half celestial undead paladin, or a half celestial paladin upon a griffin mount, and traveled with Saint Thos, who was the blind monk,
Paladin monk.
Blind paladin monk,
Paladin.
who could see goodness and evil to people. So he basically could only see people with auras. Along their adventures, they did run into a mirror and had the opposites created of them. So the paladin and the paladin monk, the vow of poverty one. So that was an exalted monk.
Exalted vow of poverty.
Right. So
a Bale Mater.
So an evil blackguard and a vile monk paladin were produced. And
one that's very greedy, I'm assuming.
That's very greedy. Yeah. Were produced, and these characters went on to rescue the party in the Underdark, and ended up killing a what do you call them? The
Baelor.
No, well, yeah, Darthanon fought a Baelor. Now there's a duel between Darthanon and Baelor. That's another story. Kill the Baelor. Don't mind me. It's okay. Just just one Baelor.
One roll. One roll.
Level 12, level 13, one Baelor. And the Baelor was a dick too. The first thing he did was dispel magic greater and be like. No, it was the A tropal scion. So the like fetus of God.
Oh yeah, those things.
Oh, that thing.
Awful.
That was
Those
hilarious.
things were
So
awful.
that was really the capstone fight of that campaign.
Yes, yes.
So defeated the Atropal Scion. That was with Neodark. That was supposed to be coming to bring ruin upon for Rune.
Oh yeah, that was back in the Forgotten Realms days. Marty
Yeah.
loved the Forgotten Realms.
Loved them.
And then started loving destroying them. But
Yeah, the saint was all about sacrifice, and he became the monk was Thas was a monk, paladin that was about sacrifice, and not doing enough for his companions and fellow men, and doing everything he possibly could for everyone, and he became a saint of Ilmater, who is under Tyr, yeah, a lot of bad decision making was done. And basically these guys got trapped in the mirror. They figured their way out in a side story that Marty described to us, while the main story continued with the other characters. They eventually came into the Underdark to rescue them, and that's where Darthanon fought against the Baelor on a one-on-one combat and won. They came victorious, and then they fought that godling thing where there was a godling thing and a very high level cleric in the next to the godling thing, and in this plane you decided where down was. And the first thing that Thas did when entering this plane,
Jesus Christ, you remember details of the fight?
I remember details. The first thing Thas did was I select down to be the cleric's head, and he drop kicked a few hundred feet into her head, and because of his slow fall he took no damage, but she did, and it was a critical hit. And because he had touch when you saint in 3.5, so Adam's internet died, he's gonna come back. She took max dex damage, so she was paralyzed, and all she could do is quicken attacks, quicken spells. So she was basically taken out of the fight in like the first round, and you had the biggest fit ever. I can't believe you took out my cleric. It's good times. Yeah, but Thas died at the end of that, and they brought him back somehow. But that was my first character, my first character. So it was awesome hearing that. So yeah. And I'm gonna drop Adam from the call.
Okay.
Should be able to call in any second now. Let's message him. Your character has died.
I have a question for you.
Mm.
I was looking at the leap thing because I took quick leap and leap of the clouds for Darian, and I think I ended up having the same thing for Kreiger.
Yeah.
What lets you leap? Oh no, you got a high speed. That's why you can do what you do. All right, yeah.
What?
Never mind.
What? No, because I'm a monk. I can do it as a single action.
Yeah,
That's
but
an ability.
there's a feat that lets you do that too.
Oh.
But it says under long jump that you can only jump as far as your speed, but you got a wicked speed too. So let's.
Under long jump, yeah, but when you're doing the cloud jump,
Yeah, you triple it.
you triple it, and my speed is stupid. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Crusher's full speed is, I don't know, 85 feet, 90 feet if he's a bear.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. If he was to drink the silver potion, he'd get another 20-foot move speed. The Quicksilver.
Oh yeah, that would add too.
Yep, that adds stacks. Shadow's move speed is stupid as well. Shadow's move speed is 40. 60, 70.
It's like I don't want to start the description till Adam gets back because
Adam, yeah.
God damn it, Adam!
Resetting router, don't think it's a local problem though. Shit. He's resetting as the router. He doesn't think it's a local problem. Worst case.
I got all the tokens ready to go. Yeah.
I can tell you about the powers that Shadow and Crusher got. These empires are cool.
Yeah, we could take a
A moment.
yeah.
Un moment.
What'd you guys?
So- There's a bunch of smaller things like more armor and skill increases and stuff like that. But the cool thing is I can do prey as a swift action. There's even a free action now. I think it's you come in 5,000 feet. Swift action at the beginning of the round, and then the 20th level ability is ignore the first 5 range increments on a prey. And I forgot something in Shadow where it's far shot, where I double my range increments. So with a longbow at 100 feet, it becomes 1,000-foot range increment. So there's no negatives to shooting 1,000
Wait, that's not
feet away.
100 is not 1,000. 100 times 2 is 200.
Yes, and then you ignore the first 5 range increments on a prey.
Oh. on prey, okay.
On prey, yeah. And then as a swift action, at the beginning of my round, I could do that.
You're effectively, with no penalties, hitting someone from 3 football fields away.
Yeah. A lot. And his bonus is stupid because at 20th you get another increase.
Yep. What did Crusher get?
Ooh, Crusher. Crusher got something super awesome. So one thing I didn't actually get to use last time, he got this at 18th, was what were you called? Swift something. Swift River. Whenever he's grapple, anything that affects his speed, if he's immobilized or slowed, he can just it's a free action, just undo it. So he can't be grappled. He can't remain grappled at the end of his turn. So that's awesome. But the really cool thing is, anybody. So this turn as a reaction, anybody who hits him, or if he has to do a roll to save, he gets to roll twice. So if somebody hits him, they roll twice and they take the worst. If he's doing a save, he rolls twice and takes the best. And that's a reaction. You do that once a round. Yeah. That's it. Pretty awesome. Pretty freaking awesome. Mark?
Well, for Kreiger, his 20th level barbarian feat is brutal critical. So
Murder late.
Splat.
Which is on a critical hit, you add an extra dive damage, which isn't that great really when you're talking about the kind of weapons like the striking weapons we got. But the target also takes persistent bleed damage equal to 2 damage dice.
Just poking holes into people. Nice.
Yeah. Now you combine that with his 18th level feat, which is vicious evisceration, which is a 2-action attack. But if you hit, you also deal 1 drain damage. If you critically hit, you do 2 drain damage.
God damn.
Yeah. So criticals will be meat if I hit with those. 19th level barbarians also get light and medium armor, increases to master proficiency.
You need that.
At 19th they get something called Devastator. It's their barbarian class power increases to master. And melee strikes ignore 10 points of a creature's resistance to physical damage.
Ptolemy
Darian.
got 10th level spells. Ptolemy's 10th level spells are
Darian got...
alter reality. So he can alter basically the reality of things.
Radiant Blade Master for 20th. Basically, it adds another list of things that you can put on your weapon every morning. And so today, Darian will be going to battle with a keen answer.
That's awesome.
Because you can choose from dancing, greater disrupting, and keen.
You can hear
So
me,
what is
right?
keen?
You can hear me, right, guys?
Yeah, you
And
broke up
19th
there
level, they also
for.
get
Okay.
Hero's Defiance, which is a focus spell. Basically, if you get knocked down to below 0, as a reaction, you cast this spell and get, I think it's like 10d4 plus X number of hit points back immediately. So,
Nice.
but you can only
Can
use
you
it
hear
once
us,
in
Mark?
combat, or once an hour or something.
Can you hear us, Mark? Hello? Can you hear? Hold on, let me.
You can't hear me?
We can hear you, Mark, but
I
you're
can
talking over
hear
us.
you.
It's like you're not listening.
Can you hear us?
Oh,
Okay, it's
can you?
probably time for us to restart the call.
All right.
All right, the internet, don't screw me over.
Right.
Adam, any luck yet? Not yet.
It's like VCs like those guys are playing D&D again. we need our bandwidth for like doctor's visits and stuff. But although it is Saturday,
Yeah, he's saying it's.
well, it's like everyone and their mother is on the internet. Things are just.
What are you gonna do? Play Monopoly for the 20th time today.
See, I can't even do that, dude. Because
Yeah.
you know
I
what?
can't do that. I'm gonna add pie to my $20. What the fuck? Mark? Adam?
Here, I'll let one of you guys start the call.
Yeah, let me start the.
Damn you, technology! Let's accept Ahmed's call. All right.
See if these guys pick up from my end.
It shows Adam is busy.
I know. Yeah, when he was not on our call, it was said busy, and he just called me. Did you get his call as well?
No.
Okay. Mark, offline. I think their area went down.
Yep.
Let's
Yep.
disconnect from
Yep.
Adam.
Yep.
See if there's a message from Senor Adam. I think my wife and my kid jinxed me. Oh, you can't play with us? Oh,
There we go.
hope your internet fucking dies.
We got a Mark.
Hey, Mark is back. Hello, Mark. How are you? It's nice.
Hello, I saw Adam.
Yeah, he tried to call. He tried to call me. Anyways, that's what I got. Try call him again. It's nice. But it could.
There he is.
Sorry. Oh no, he's from the phone. Adam, are you on your phone?
I don't have him.
Hotspot to your phone.
I don't have him.
So your character's died, man. Sorry.
I don't have Adam.
You don't have him?
No.
Adam, can you hear me? Okay, Marty can't hear you.
Okay, let me.
Agreed with her. This is fucking awful. It's like delaying the final fight. don't. There is a problem with the internet.
Okay, I added Adam to the call.
You need to check your IP address. Tell him that because it's helpful.
Wunderbar. Nothing yet. Okay, any comments? No.
We got a bug.
Hey.
We got a bug at him about his internet.
He's not checking his IP address.
What a shithole.
There we go. There's Adam with 1 bar and a gray square.
It's off of my cell data, so I'm trying to. If I could turn off your videos, I would.
Yep.
Because when it tells me I've spent $20 or $30 on data, we're okay. But when it's going to tell me I've spent $100 on data, it's going to be a problem.
Hey, you need to.
You hear that? We need donations, guys. I need to get him out of the hole.
No. we don't have a big enough community to demand donations. please don't. Save your money for rent and stuff. It's all good.
So I'm going to see if I can shrink this on my phone to save battery life. And I just need the audio part. I don't want the video.
Yep.
We'll see if that does the thing. Hello?
Yep.
Yeah, I can hear you, man.
Yes, there you.
That's fucking amazing. Okay, all right. So, I've got my character sheets open, but I can't load new sheets. So if I'm missing something, I'm going to ask somebody to pull it for me, and I don't see a map, but I have imagination. So
No problem. Oh, you're gonna have to watch this afterwards. You know that, right?
just don't rub it in. Forward, onward. We've got something.
All right. So as the group of heroes leave the hidden nook where they stooshed the silvery orb that leads to the workshop outside of time, they realize that this place is pretty busy. Not with the creatures that you've destroyed, but there's something else going on. And let me get Glitter Fiend, and the newborns are not here anymore. Let me just make sure I've got all the tokens right. Yeah, the newborns are safe. They have used the gift of the redeemed Nocticula. The Glitter Fiend is there. Yeah, we'll stick that in Oscar's head. All right, so you guys are emerging from the hidden nook. You immediately notice that the towering behemoth Myconid Goliath that you guys teleported onto the head of several hours ago, which is days for you, is just standing along the causeway or the walkway between the two pools of acid. It is facing the center. And it just looks like it's sort of rooted, but you're not falling for that trick twice. You're like, that is not a mushroom. But you kind of come out of the little hollow that you guys have been, that you hid that artifact in the gateway to the workshop, and you realize there is a screaming wall of bodies and souls that have risen up like a tidal wave kind of all around this area, and there is this gigantic elemental form of the blood of Did, Malini, flying around with an artifact, scooping up the bodies as they come crashing into this area like a wave. You're all mine! Is what she says, and she basically is keeping this part of the battlefield safe from a tidal wave of souls and creatures. And it's basically like at this point in time, all the dead of Runerach are just basically pouring into this place, and there's a literal tidal wave. There's something sinks in your hearts if you have any conscience that there might be a wave of mass death happening on Runerach's surface right now for this many souls to be here.
Does Oscar see Krieger's mom?
No, you could imagine that might have been Krieger's mom, but no, you don't see directly Krieger's mom. But Malini is flying around, and I've got a token for Malini, and there's an enclosing circle and waves of bodies that she is of souls and petitioners, people who are trying to, I guess, be pulled into Zuggtmoy's power. That she's eating up with the Hecatomb device. She's completely, like, at this point in time, not going to be able to be part of the fight, but she's making it possible for the fight to even happen, as the Hecatomb device is growing in power. You arrived just in time to see this man upon this really weird mount, sort of like with this weird sort of swagger, kind of just marching up towards the center. The center still has Ptolemy's sphere of multicolors, and there seem to be like growths coming out of the ground and all sorts of spurts of spores all over the place. The place looks alive, like lots of little openings and like little active mushrooms everywhere. Like this whole place is awakened. Strange gas fumes here and there. The acid pools are also bubbling now, so they are boiling acid pools, just because reasons. And the guy who is striding forth has this wonderful swagger. He has this kind of open. This open silk shirt. He's got like weird pants that come out in bottoms at the end, and a strange collar, and wonderfully manicured nails, and like flowing hair. And we're gonna call him Leisure Suit Ayuz. The mount that he has is really awkward for a mount. It's this giant crab-like device with weird pustules in which are floating brains. The last time you guys encountered something like this was in the
casino.
Yeah, I think so.
I think whereas you fought something like this creature.
Yeah.
There was an undead one that you guys fought in Doomsday.
It wasn't in this campaign. Yeah, it wasn't in this campaign.
I remember fighting one of these things.
Yeah, but it wasn't here.
And you can see the thing is awkward, and you just sort of like he's riding it like he's got all sorts of swagger.
Gonna suck your soul tonight.
And he's and this creature is moving in as you guys appear. You notice that he's got some sort of like maybe invisible like imp or something that was barely visible kind of flapping around above his head.
Oh, he has an imp that's invisible, huh?
If you speak Abyssal, you understand, although there seems to be this like telepathic kind of wave that comes up from the creature, like he wasn't trying to hide his feelings. Zuggtmoy, I love what you've done with the place, my darling. How long has it been since I've come here? Are you cooking something? Oh, how I miss your cooking. And there's a flash from you guys, I suppose, and oh, you will not interrupt my day. This is a grand reunion where the mother and father of all new creation meet after a long time of being apart.
Is there anything invisible that's obvious?
Yeah, Shadow can see invisibles.
Or is there anything that is not as it appears, aka true seeing?
I think Stolly Zuggtmoy.
There is an invisible imp sitting on his shoulder.
Oh, I think that's going to be one of Joe's first prey.
Oh, it's like the ground all kind of like spoke at the same time, and there's a voice that's coming from everywhere, and the ground shakes. There you are, my sweet. Your sweet caress I do miss ever so much. Don't worry, together we shall pluck these fleas from your great back. And then we will get to making the new universe. Or at least populating it.
Well, Oscar's going to start hiding and, start
Okay, so
cycling.
I already rolled initiative. Got to move first, so he's moving towards the center, and he's kind of like, "Are you in there, my sweet?" He's like looking at the prismatic sphere with strange, like not sure what's going on, and the whole ground kind of goes like there's something coming out of the ground, bubbling of the acid pools. There's all sorts of skittering sounds as things are crawling out of the ground, like they're hatching. Alkur, you are next to react. Like, Oscar hasn't hidden yet, so.
Okay. We've got a problem. Malini Air Elemental.
Okay.
Malini Elemental is flying around and sucking up bodies with the hecatomb as like waves of them are coming closer. And we're talking about waves of people, like these like dying petitioner forms that are waving into this area like they're all trying to crash down. And she's dipping over to this side and to this side and trying to keep this huge ring of them at bay. Wandering beyond this map would probably be bad. And I think I have a tool to build a circle that big. It might not be big enough. Give me a second. Let's draw a... How big can my circle be? Nope. My circle can only be that big.
Okay. Well.
Yeah. I want it to be 3%, like...
Much bigger.
Wave of angry petitioners. They're all kind of slimy and partially mushroomed, and they're reaching towards you, and she's whipping around. Alkur, what are you doing?
Alkur doesn't know what to do. I think we're going to cast a fly. Like we're gonna cast a fly spell because this is popping off rather quick. Like I'll add that to the list of buffs. So he'll cast a fly and he will swap out for the gray.
Okay, Oscar.
Well, sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. We're gonna stealth.
Okay, Oscar. The skull's still there. You can feel it.
Oh, it's gotta be there. All right. We're gonna hide.
Yep.
And then we're gonna do the stupid jumping thing because apparently that is the only solution for mobility when you're a bruiser. Enter stupid jumping mode of travel.
Okay.
Ahmed, what's the rule for the jumping thing?
Aim for a DC. If you
Okay.
hit it with your athletics jump, then you can triple your
The distance you went.
yeah.
Okay, so Oscar's got a plus 30 athletics. He will aim for DC 35, and that means he moves 115 feet.
That's two actions. 'Cause you
Okay.
gotta jump.
But the initial DC distance can't be more than your speed. So I don't know what your speed is.
Oscar's speed is currently, I think I upped it this level. Let me see.
You have another 10 from
Yeah. Let's see.
Oh,
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
so then,
Oh, yeah,
he's got 30. He's got a 35 speed, so that's
Okay,
the
then
DC
you're all
before.
good then. Yeah.
trash eating.
You got 45, Adam.
So you got it.
Yeah, you're here. Network conditions affecting your call. How far does he jump then, Ahmed?
So he jumps.
105.
Yeah.
105?
105. Yep.
Okay, there's a jumping, stealthing rogue. So odd. Shadow, what are you doing?
Shadow's gonna quick pray the big lumbering the Goliath,
Yep.
and he's going to quick pray the imp.
We're still in it. We're still doing it. We're gonna bounce back and forth. Whatever. Screw it.
Yep.
So Shadow quick pray on the.
So you stealthed and jumped 105 feet, and I don't know if you're doing anything else. I don't know if that was 2 moves or 1.
That's
2.
Okay.
You can extend if you spend another move. You can extend your jump distance by your move speed.
Give me a stealth check as well. There are creatures on the battlefield right now that could sense Oscar.
So you move 140 feet total.
Another 35. Okay, I'm not sure how close he wants to be to
go
the...
around the big mic. It is.
Let's go around the big button. Okay.
Yeah, he doesn't want to go right into it.
Okay.
He could go jump on it, but that's not what he wants to do.
That's not the plan.
that's so Super Mario.
We don't really know how fast this Mycodon moves either, so it's kind of... We know that, but like, is he worth fighting, or can we just get around him? I don't know.
Yeah, so it looks like Oscar could get to about here.
It's where we find out he moves at like 100 and just squashes the spellcaster.
Shadow. So you declare the giant Goliath Myconid as your prey, and you're just firing arrows?
And he says, "Someone make me faster." And then he's gonna start firing arrows. So 2.
I hope you got that spell.
53.
You crit it?
40. No, 1. It's a miss.
Miss.
39
is a miss.
41. Wow, look at my rolls. 1, 2, 4.
41 misses by 2. You could spend a hero point to hit.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. No, it's not. If I do, you can fire me. Stop recommending these things. I'm weak-willed.
It's like, yeah, it sounds like a good idea.
Does it take shocking and sonic?
Excuse me.
Yes.
Okay.
It takes 15 less damage from each physical attack, though.
Takes 15 less damage. If I had hit with my second, it wouldn't lose, so minus 15. So it's plus 3 then. Okay. But it is pinned, and it is flat-footed. Oh, wait, no, it's flat-footed, so the last one would have hit.
Okay.
Because I critted it, so it's flat-footed.
Sure. So 45 damage.
3d8.
Is that including the minus 15?
That's, I've already taken that off, yeah. 3d8 plus 2d6.
I don't know how your tiny arrow pins this thing, but sure.
3d8 plus 2.
The power explicitly says some creatures are impossible to pin.
Oh, so it's not, then if that, probably not pin. Minus 15. 21 damage.
You know, I'm going to say with the thing that actually destroys objects in its aura, yeah, it's just not pinned. It is a colossal thing. And then 20,
just leaves
21
leaves
damage?
the part of it. That's 21, that's after the DR.
Okay. You did 66 points of damage to the Goliath as you fire arrows into melee Bone Crusher. You are right after your brother.
Crushers, I don't remember how hard this thing hit. But,
it punched your ass.
Punched my ass really, really hard. What's its distance from us? You know what? I have a pretty damn good mountain stance. Leap to the thing. Oh, this thing's gonna be a problem. This thing's gonna be a problem. Leap to the thing. So mountain stance, leap to the thing, flurry. Crap. I'm gonna actually. Did it have AOs?
You may want to check your tokens because these are not the tokens with the buffs in the workshop outside of tunnel.
Buffs.
Yeah.
Oh crap. Okay.
pretty certain we call this maneuver like the crushing boulder or something. Is that the mountain stance jump and then from the sky you pummel something?
Right as
Mountain stance jump.
this is the avalanche smash.
Yeah, it's like a Street Fighter move.
Crusher's gonna, he's gonna jump. He's gonna jump, flurry the thing, and mountain stance. So let's do this.
Okay, I'm looking for reactions. It doesn't have any.
Okay. Crusher's gonna flurry.
How far away is it?
So I do have to roll for the jump. Sorry.
From the party, it's about 100 or so feet. Right now, Oscar hid and jumped. He's about 45 feet off to the side of it.
Okay. So I'm just gonna roll a d20. It's a nat 20. I could have jumped like to Zuggtmoy. I landed.
Zuggtmoy is not on the battlefield. She seems to be. She seems to be brewing or underneath the surface of this entire area as her voice is coming out from all over the place.
Yeah.
And there are all sorts of mushrooms that are undulating and moving. Ptolemy has not come out of his little sphere if he's still inside of it.
51.
That's a critical hit. No, you can spend a hero point to crit if you want.
Thanks, Marty.
Okay.
Yeah, we really appreciate the 50. But 2 hits.
2 hits.
So that's my flurry. Second attack. So it's gonna this thing minus 15. So 60, 12 plus 38 plus 4. Does it take acid? Force? No, not cold, I mean.
Yep.
Plus 2d8. Minus...
Oh, yeah. Is it flat-footed for...
Yeah, it is flat-footed for a crusher.
Okay, so
flat-footed for everyone.
Then it's ace... the 51 is a crit.
Oh, 51 is another crit?
Yep.
Wait, I crit it... No, I didn't. So 51 is a crit, and then 50...
is a normal hit.
Because it becomes 50... Okay. So it's a 90-12.
You can thank randomly for that.
Thanks, man. Man, you're fucking awesome. You're on the ball.
Somebody's paying attention.
60. 57. Oh, boy. 66. 3d8 minus 15. Minus another 15. Plus... So 2 hits. 3. Okay. No, just one is 115. Okay. 161 damage.
Ugh. Okay, you hurt it badly. As you go clawing in, you kind of take off a huge piece of its weird shoulder, mushroom-like shoulder, and then you claw as you go down to the ground, and you're raking into its side. It sort of tips as you're providing, like, you've almost knocked it over. It's definitely going to respond to your presence. You can see weird gases starting to come out from its underside, and the undercarriage of the weird levels of the monster. Mm-hmm. Something we will call the Balor Imp of Ayuz.
Oh crap! I knew I should have hit that thing first.
So the Balor who of what now?
The Balor
Imp of Ayuz.
Imp of Ayuz.
Does it look like a Balor in True Seeing?
It looks like a really powerful, fiery.
It's like a really angry imp.
It's a very angry imp. Yep.
Well, there's a giant thing in front of us. It must have been more important at the time. That's fine. It's really far away.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's not going to be very far away for long.